Congress is now at a major crossroads. House Republicans are expected to vote today behind closed doors on who will be the next Speaker of the House. The leading contenders, we've been talking about them for some time now. Congressmen Jim Jordan and Steve Scalise making their cases during a meeting on Tuesday night. Former House Speaker Kevin McCarthy, who was ousted just a week ago, says he told lawmakers not to nominate him, saying he will not run again. Niall Stanage, White House columnist for The Hill, with us right now. Okay, so kind of anticlimactic. I mean, McCarthy didn't change his mind. Got it. Are Republicans any closer to agreeing on Jim Jordan or Steve Scalise?
They are not, and I think that's actually the main takeaway from last night. There is still no clear favourite in this race, Adrienne. Congressman Jordan and Congressman Scalise both have widespread but not overwhelming support. Obviously, it's going to have to be one who's put forth by the Republican conference overall. And among those two people, they haven't decided who they're going to vote off the island yet. And that's a bit of a problem. All
right. The waiting game continues. Let's talk about what McCarthy was speaking about, though, discussing the need to fill this void, especially because of the crisis going on overseas in Israel. Let's listen.
We need to stand shoulder to shoulder with Israel. We need to make sure Hamas is destroyed, that the American hostages have to come home now, and we will have vengeance if they do one thing to them.
So what type of action do we believe they would vote on once a speaker is chosen?
We do know an answer to that because there has been a resolution introduced on a bipartisan basis expressing support and solidarity for Israel. That has come from the most senior members of each party on the House Foreign Affairs Committee. Problem is they can't vote for that while there's just this acting speaker, speaker pro tempore, as the lingo has it. And so they need to wait until a real speaker is selected until they can move forward with that. Of course, there's the much more substantive issue of increased aid to Israel and the really big picture here, Adrienne, which is whether America's adversaries take heart from signs of dysfunction, of which this lack of having a speaker is one.
Yeah, it just seems like it's dragging on and on. But what would be the biggest difference between Scalise and Jordan if they were speaker?
Jordan is probably a notch or two more to the conservative side. He has the endorsement of former President Trump. His critics would argue that he's less likely to be able to pass the kind of legislation that would ultimately go into effect because he's so opposed to Democrats. Steve Scalise is equally, or at least somewhat, as conservative, but is considered, I think, a slightly more establishment figure, one who might be able to make those sort of across-the-aisle deals a little bit.
As my mother would say, a skosh more moderate, maybe, than Jim Jordan.
Yes, a skosh. I never heard that. I've added to my vocabulary, so at least all is not yet lost.
All right. Well, there you go. I'm glad I could help you today, give you a new word to work on. But Congresswoman Nancy Mace, she had a new letter wearing a T-shirt with a big red letter A. She was one of the Republicans who ousted Kevin McCarthy. Do we know anything? I mean, was this just a photo op? Has she or any of the others who ousted the former speaker, have they indicated who they might vote for?
They haven't really. It is presumed, I think, that the 8 would be more ideologically aligned with Jim Jordan. But this situation gets complicated because Jim Jordan is also perceived to be favoured by Kevin McCarthy. Long story short, Kevin McCarthy and Steve Scalise don't particularly like each other. So there's this weird situation where both the anti-McCarthy rebels and Kevin McCarthy himself are perceived to be more sympathetic to Jim Jordan than Steve Scalise. Nancy Mace's T-shirt, I thought, was the most entertaining thing last night, so at least there was that.
That says something. Niall, thank you so much. Good to see you. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.